Get him out of there. Don't allow him to get suspended at this point.
And we're underway here. Louisville City, the home team in purple. Rochester Rhinos in their classic green kits. Headed out by Sergio Campbell. And Kyle Smith, who's served a 3-game suspension in August, but then has scored in his back-to-back games since he got off that red card suspension for an incident with Bethlehem Steel.
What I'd be interested with James O'Connor's team tonight, Louisville City, is they were a bit flat in the game against Bethlehem Steel. I'd like to see how they come straight out, go right at the Rhinos and say, yeah, we're back. This is our field. This is what we really do here. And let us see if they take the game in that way.
And that was a strange performance when you think about it. They had, a chance to clinch a playoff spot with a win, and they backed their way in. They still got it with a bunch of other results, but they did not play their best soccer. Real quick, this portion of the game brought to you by Plainview Apartments, presented by Plainview Apartments, the official housing partner of Lou City. There's Gaia Bend getting a start in midfield alongside Paolo DiPiccolo.
But look at that. That's the Louisville half. There's 4 green shirts in it. That's a high press. That's pressure from the front. They've seen the game that Bethlehem brought to Louisville City, and they're taking their lead from that. So what that means is if the back line for Rochester are deep and the front unit are pushing on high, there's going to be a lot of space in midfield. We'll see if they play compact or they're stretched.
This Rochester team coming off a 1-1 draw in Pittsburgh, a game that required a Joe Farrell equalizer in stoppage time to even walk out of there with 1 point. Dagger for Pitt, who's outside of the top 8 in the Eastern Conference, to give up that goal late, but a big goal for Rochester.
What a pass from Jimenez.
And great return to Jimenez. Leads the USL in chances created. Trying to create another one. Can't quite there.
They got to put a tight leash on him.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, I know, but if it takes more than one man, it might be worth it. Because he's what we would call an inverted winger. He plays on the outside and comes inside because he's on the left side, he's naturally right-footed. So he takes that avenue all the time. He doesn't always go outside you.
There was just Walt Fall, the tall German, on the ball. Swings it out wide to Canardo Forbes, wearing the captain's armband today. He was part of the 2015 Rhinos squad that hoisted the USL Cup trophy. And there's Joe Farrell, aforementioned goal scorer in their last game against Pittsburgh. Played up to Forbes. Forbes taking some contact by Ben. No call by our referee today, John Freeman. As Ben's able to dig it out of the corner and play it long.
A lot of spray came up there when he slid in.
Yeah.
So
the field has been quite watered. There were a couple, you could see the ball when the ball skidded earlier.
Yeah. Just be mindful of that.
Julian Boucher on the ball. German born, 2 years at Syracuse, led them to a College Cup final. And he's on loan from DC United right now in MLS.
See, look at the problems.
Boucher forcing the turnover on the press, as you say.
Yeah, Morad's got problems there because they've pinned the player in possession right in the corner. The goalkeeper's been cut off by his teammate. Great play, great play. Look at the territorial advantage. And all they need is a Olympic javelin thrower, and they can get this in the box.
Boucher getting the ball from Ryan James. James trying to combine with him. Can't, and is cleared out. James on it again, skips by Jimenez. A lot of contact by Morad, and that will yield a free kick for the Rhinos. Boucher stands over it. Used to be part of the German national setup, under 16, under 18. Back in 2011, he was the player of the year in Bundesliga, midfielder of the year in the under 19 league. He gets to whip it in almost to the penalty spot, but headed out. Played all the way back to Tomas Gomez, who's getting back into net. Dan Lind has seen a lot more time, but Gomez, who was first in the league last year, won the Golden Gloves for the best goals against average, .69. He's third this year with 9 shutouts. He's back between the pipes. Wall Fall looking for Forbes.
Forbes does well there because he was strong, had to be strong to retain possession.
Sergio Campbell just opted to put it into the 20th row and give away possession.
I just think a bit of uncomplicated defending sometimes is the answer.
Ownby lays it off back to a bend. Sean Tosh getting forward.
Thing is, if Tosh pushes forward, that's one of your back three out. So that's a large hole. Now, if he goes, that's great, but somebody has to sit back in. Somebody has to understand the nature to keep the unit in its shape.
Ownby on the ball, working, skipping past Ryan Felix. Illich able to keep it in play, and then it's back, laid across, and the baseball diamond might have just grabbed a foot right there. That one was a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was Davis the fourth, wasn't it? He just lost his footing. It is the fourth, isn't it?
It is the fourth.
Yes, thank you. I'm old, but not that old. that I actually lived during Roman times, but there we are.
And you see some of the challenges this field presents. It's a smaller pitch, but then also having the baseball diamond there. How tough is it? In the level that you played, if you were played on a baseball diamond in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that would have been a challenge.
Yeah.
The only thing you'd say is it's the same for both teams, but there is a familiarity that the home side have that you don't as the opponents coming in here.
Foul on Ray Lee there will lead to a free kick for Lou City. Taken relatively quickly, sprayed out to Morad. He has to retreat.
Didn't do Morad any favors because it's a high arcing ball, so when it hits the ground, if he doesn't control it dead first time, it's going to bounce up, and that gives time for a player to close him down. Whoa, no communication there.
Absolutely none, and Sergio Campbell going to surrender a corner on that. Just totally unnecessary.
Lynn must have called for that. You can't imagine that he won't have said anything. He's just...
Taking a look here at this great opportunity. Good ball played across.
Yeah, it's just at the wrong moment. The last thing you wanted at that moment. But okay, Jimenez, delivery, normally something good happens. Let's see if that's the case now.
Jimenez looking long, gets ahead to it. I believe that was Ownby, got his head to it, but not quite enough on it.
Because he's hit that quite high, Jimenez, there's not a lot of power in it. So if you're heading the ball, you've got to generate all of that power yourself. And that's why that header wasn't a bullet kind of header.
Tosh looking up to Ownby. Couldn't control it, and Johan Graf comes away with it. Guy Ben back on it, floats it looking for Illich as the outlet, and he connects. Kyle Smith tried to play it quickly. Ownby couldn't control.
It's a bit frenetic at the moment. Not really any dominance from one team in the opening 9 minutes.
Do you like how Lou City, if it's frenetic, is that better than being flat like they were on Friday?
I definitely think it's preferable to being flat. It's just that they're not in control as of yet of those midfield areas where they generate so much good football normally. What they'll have to come to terms with is the fact that Rochester are pressurizing from such a forward-lying position. If you don't get yourself set for your receiving and understand where your pass is immediately, you're going to be spending time trying to work all those things out, and you're going to find green shirts all on top of you.
Rochester, a very solid defensive unit, as we mentioned already. Second in the league in terms of goals allowed, just 24 goals allowed on the season. Louisville, conversely, fourth in goals scored with 50. And they got a lot of guys that can put a ball in the back of the net. Mike Garzi, one of the two members on this team that was in the 2015 USL Cup title team, along with Bernardo Forbes. He came back from an offside position, so that's a turnover. Greg Ranjetsing plays it out to Morad. pressure again forces Morad to take it quickly.
Well, Morad has gone for a longer pass there, trying to find Davis the fourth, where Jimenez has come short, just on the angle. Sometimes you give it to Jimenez, that draws the player away and he gives it back to you. You now have more space and time. And it's being comfortable, it's being patient, and it's having a good understanding. Now, Morad's come back into the team. So maybe that little mental connection isn't quite there with Jimenez at the moment. Maybe we'll see that develop during the game.
As with most midweek games, quite a bit of roster rotation late season. 4 player changes for Louisville, 5 for Rochester from the teams that showed up this weekend.
The player's just gone down there with no
Looks
one
like
around
Ray
him.
Lee went down hard.
Yeah.
See if he's okay.
Twist an ankle or something? No, he's jogging.
He's back up.
Okay.
2 green. Ray Lee getting his 11th start of the season. Playing that left wing back spot. Paolo Piccolo on the ball. Back to George Davis.
He's going to come inside.
There it is. Jimenez on his right with the curler.
Oh, if I can see it from here. You must have watched the tape. You must know who your opponent is. He is hardly likely to go on the outside of you. He's going to give you the left shoulder. You're going to buy it, and he's going to bring some space to the inside. There it goes. Whoops, here we come. And he's a whisker away, isn't he? What a great angle that is. That's how close.
Just off frame, and the 14-year veteran of the back four of many English top flight clubs just took us to school right there. He told us before he's going to come in on his right.
Oh, yeah, but you respect your opponents by learning their game. And that teaches you, take you to school, and you learn, and you become a better player. Or at least you don't get made to look silly so often.
And already a surprise substitution here. We will get you. The substitution brought to you by Great Clips. Cameron Lancaster is in for Ilya Illich. And we were just talking about Illich getting a chance to start here in Luke Spencer's place. Must have picked up a knock at some point. I would only think that with the 13th minute. Now Lancaster comes in. He's a product of the Tottenham Academy, something you know well. And he's also scored some goals though this year. So this will be his 20th appearance. He's 6 goals and 1 assist. He's capable, just like all their strikers are, of scoring. But quite a surprise to see this move.
Maybe there isn't an injury. Maybe James O'Connor has seen something in terms of a mismatch that he knows Illich doesn't have against maybe Sergio Campbell, Ryan Felix, or Joseph Farrell. That central 3 unit for the Rhinos that he thinks Lancaster can expose. Maybe it's physical presence because he's quite a big unit. Maybe that's what they're going for.
And there's Lancaster trying to run onto it. But this is a standard back 3 that Bob Lilly employs. You think it would be James O'Connor would have made a error in who he started, knowing that the standard back line?
It probably is.
There's Illich.
Yeah, simple enough. It could well. He doesn't look injured, but
He does not. He doesn't look happy either.
No, well, no player's happy if he gets taken off, particularly at this stage of the game. You know, is that the coach saying I made a mistake, or is that an injury? We'll have to wait post-game to find out for that one.
Yeah, we definitely will try to find out after the game or hear more about it. But there, as of now, he was on the scene on the sideline, just doing some stretching, working on his leg a little bit. But he wasn't receiving treatment at that second. So don't want to speculate any more than that. We'll find out. But interesting to say the least.
The game goes on.
We talked about Rochester pressing up the field and having an impact. What have you seen from them in terms of their ability or lack thereof to possess the ball themselves?
Well, they're finding their way. They're not going to find it easy. You know, nobody seems to come to the Slugger field and get away with whatever they like. So they're going to earn whatever it is they get. But they're going to find that Louisville are going to open them up. They're going to use the wide areas. They're going to try and find now Lancaster with service that benefits him. But Lou City are going to always play out from the back. That back 3 are always going to split. and they're going to play, as you see here with Morad.
8-2-3. Louisville is at home this year, as you just mentioned. It's tough to beat them here. This portion of tonight's broadcast presented by our official partner, Sullivan University. Sullivan University, official partner of Lou City. We are hearing now that Ilya Illich was an injury. When he slipped in the box, something pulled in his leg, and that is why the substitution was made.
Oh, well, I just feel sorry for him.
Absolutely. But now here's Lou City on the run. Kyle Smith trying to dance inside the box. Cut off nicely, though, by Ray Lee. Now Lou City steals the ball. Ball played in. Joe Farrell now on it. Back to Kyle Smith. Morad has his head up, floats it. He's got Ownby. Ownby lays it off for Lancaster. Lancaster gets under it.
Well, if you're going to play a back five, you should be able to mark one player.
You think?
And Ownby was wide open. I mean, it was a tough ball because he's got that coming in. You can see here the controls a volley. He's facing away from goal, so he does the next best thing and sets up his teammate.
And Ownby is good at that. 3 assists on the year. 4 times he's been the team of the week. 2 times goal of the week, too, in USL this year. Tomas Gomez sends it deep. Wall fall with the flick on, which will just go to Ranjitsingh.
Well covered by Morad there. I don't think he appreciated Graf's flattening him almost after the ball had left.
Morad back on the ball. He's into Del Piccolo. Ben head up looking long. Tags it in looking for Lancaster. Headed in. Almost an OG, an own goal right there, but Tomas Gomez, and he just says settle down afterwards.
Don't panic, I've got it under control. See, this is what happens. Now, the Rhinos defense is defending going backwards. And it can happen like that. If you start to get the defense backpedaling, headers like that can turn out to be so dangerous.
Now the second corner of the match here for Lou City, and Oscar Jimenez is over it again. This one driven in a little bit better than last time, but headed clear. Ownby's first touch kind of let him down there, put him in trouble. And then Graf are battling. After that foul, Bernardo Forbes threw his legs out, but
Ownby does lunge in. But that's what Ownby's like. He's a competitive player. Sees the ball, wants the ball. And it's that lunge, that right foot lunges in, and that's what the referee took a dislike to.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with the one and only Mike Watts, Mondays, 7 o'clock Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, do not forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Kyle Smith battling with 2 Rhinos, able to keep possession. Guy Ben dances out of a little bit of tight traffic. Is able to get it switched out to Jimenez.
Good use of the outside of the boot there to find Jimenez. What I like about Jimenez, once he passes, he goes. He's looking to get on the end of that pass. He's not giving you the ball, he's lending you the ball. He expects it back as soon as possible.
So many guys in this Louisville team have developed and come from smaller leagues, but we'll come back to that in a second. There's now an opportunity.
Where was that going?
George Davis just sent that well over the net, and
well, that's
he's gonna want that one back.
No, that's control.
Should have been a cross.
You got to look at that. He just seemed to have sliced right across that the wrong way rather than curling around it.
Just back to Jimenez. He was playing in the PDL last year. He's a Division II player. Comes in an open tryout. James O'Connor was telling me the other day, saying we saw him as a central midfielder. That's what he'd play, but we knew we could make him an outside back and an effective one. But the fact that he's become this effective this fast in this league is pretty impressive.
Maybe it surprised the coach had just sort of the rate of his development.
Kyle Smith the same way, but in 16 he came in an open tryout. So two very talented players have been hugely impactful for your program here, found in different ways.
Yeah, you say, you know, you're open-minded to the players that come in front of you, and you see things in them that maybe other people haven't seen. You know, it's something that everybody can benefit from, that kind of thinking.
For sure.
Just here, number 6, Morad, when he gets the ball, because he's naturally right-footed, he's looking back inside, which is basically turning his back on Jimenez. So when Jimenez drops short and shows on an angle, he's not quite seeing him because he's not naturally left-footed and not opening himself up. So it's difficult. Having been a right-footed player on the left myself, you have to have a run of games to get familiar with playing in that position.
And as you mentioned, Morad just coming back into the team in that spot.
Yep.
Bernardo Forbes contests, tried to squeeze it out for the Rhinos. Again, it falls and just sent back deep to Ren Jetson.
Not getting a lot of time to settle in midfield, are they, Lou City? They're finding green shirts on top of them very, very quickly.
Wall fall, loses it in midfield. Ombi's now going to turn into space. Ombi driving at the defense, skipping in the middle of the box. Cleared out, Lancaster tries to get pounce on it, but deflected again.
Just quick, one-touch passing, just slices through the Rhinos' defense. Here we go again.
A nice combination play. Del Piccolo looking to put through Lancaster, falls for Davis, he gets a shot, and it's a goal! George Davis, the 4th, from just inside the area, tattoos it into the bottom corner.
Okay, you're forgiven for that last shot now.
His 5th goal of the campaign, and at a big-time 23rd minute, puts Lou City up 1-0.
They just had a little spell of quick passing and an opportunity. Now look at this. Space. Sergio Campbell goes across and not to Davis. And Davis says, right, this is what I think about that. There's not a chance Lynn's going to stop that. It's struck so well.
Gomez dealt with some knee injuries through the course of the summer, missing 4 games, but has worked himself back into full fitness in this lineup over the last month and making a big difference here tonight. And as always, that Lou City goal was brought to you by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, Kentucky Lottery.
Okay, you're never more vulnerable. You're never more vulnerable than when you've just scored. So it means concentration.
Comes Johan Graf. Tried to lay it off for Ray Lee, but they could not connect, and Lou City's back on the ball.
So how do Rochester Rhinos react to going a goal down?
Boucher lofts it over the head of Graf, and Graf runs onto it. Wall fall. Back to fall. He tries to dance through some defenders.
There's those feet you were talking about.
Big man has quick feet. Played in the middle. Bernardo Forbes gets ahead to it, but wasn't enough on the ball to really generate much power.
Once you've got a player like Fall who is looking for that area, 25 yards out of goal, and you back away from him, all you're doing is allowing him the time to get his head up and look at Ranjit Singh's goal. Straighten his grill. Keep that head looking down at the ball. Do not allow him to size up which square of the net he wants to hit. It's not rushing in and flattening him. It's not giving away free kicks. It's controlled, but you've got to put that pressure and you've got to put that thought in his mind. I've got to do something to get away from this.
It's really the first time he's been able to even get within about a couple yards of the area to be in the attack.
And I'm thinking that's a good thing for Lou City.
Absolutely, and this could be a good thing too, because Guy Ben's going to pick up the foul and give Lou City a free kick in a good area.
Okay, number 19's thinking, stand back, chaps,
Yeah,
I've got
absolutely.
this.
And surprisingly, he took one centrally on Friday and scored it. And it's not usually his forte. He's good at hooking guys up, but
Oh, no, he's when you've got that ability to strike a ball the way he has. The only thing I'd say, because he's a right-footed player, this area now, so you're going past there, yeah, hooked him back with the arm, no argument there. It's a difficult one for a right-footed player on target, unless the goalkeeper leaves an invitation on the near post just to hit it and get a second. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway.
Cameron Lancaster's there now, and he's actually sent Jimenez away from the ball, so it's just Lancaster.
Same for him as a right-footed player.
Driven in, he just skips out of bounds.
Yeah, he's gone for that near post.
He did.
Because the pace that's on that free kick is not for somebody to get on the end of. That's more likely the shot. Must have seen something from his angle on the ball.
We were just talking about how good Jimenez is. Would you prefer to see Jimenez in there trying to serve a ball in at that situation?
No, it would be a case of if Jimenez is on the ball and he sees a space, I'd fancy him to make the most of it. If it's not there, no, because it's not the angle for a right-footed player. That's good pressure from Davis. There's got to be a little bit more of that from Lou City, just to make sure the Rhinos don't find themselves comfortable and try and get back into this game.
Possibly another dangerous turnover, but just in time, Ryan Felix got there. Julian Boucher on the ball now.
See the space there is in the central area. Game's starting to just open up a little bit. We get towards the half-hour mark. Guys are feeling a little bit of the stress of hard work that's been put in.
Boucher on it again. Gets to Ray Lee. Lee trying to skip into the area. Bodies fly, and Lou City comes away with the ball. '28th minute here at Louisville Slugger Field alongside Gary O'Reilly. I'm Dallin Cuff. 1-0 the home team. Lou City is up top in the Eastern Conference right now. They've already punched their ticket to the playoffs. Rochester comes in at 4th. They have not, and they cannot tonight, but they can move up the standings, and this could be an opportunity for them to equalize as Garzi suffers the foul about 30 yards from the net.
Be a good test for Lou City. Rochester, they're on a good run. They've got players that are dangerous.
They've got dangerous players on the bench too. Cristiano Francois, who's been coming back into full health, he's on the bench. As Boucher plays it in already. He's got an opportunity there. We're looking for Wall fall in the middle, but Sergio Campbell going to call for the foul.
That ball travels a long way. That's towards the far end of the 6-yard area before there's contact on it. Never like to see a ball travel too far across your own 6-yard area. You're just upping the chances of there being a bad moment as far as your defending is concerned.
Rochester coming off a 1-1 draw late in the game against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds on the road. Cristiano Francois, who I just mentioned, got the assist there. He is a dangerous player, and as we were talking before the game, a dribbler that can make things happen. And he can really change this game if it remains in this scoreline and they need to get a goal. He may come in late and have an opportunity to change this game.
You look at their goals, 30 goals they have, 7 of which are penalties. Now that tells me there might be a dribbler in the team. Is that outside of the right boot again? See, look, he's looked at the ball out to Jimenez on the left, and he's moved away from it. We used to have a saying, feed the bear. When you got a player that's just really ready to roar, just keep giving him the ball. Yeah, absolutely.
Wallfall tried to play it before really either team was set and gave it away. Kyle Smith looking long. Sergio Campbell chests it down and knocks it out to Ray Lee.
Good pressure. Good pressure from Smith. See, he does so much of that work that generally goes unnoticed. It's not a glamour thing. It's not a flashy trick or a stunning pass. It's just the solid hard work that benefits the team.
He was voted mid-season defender of the year here in USL this season, and folks recognizing, as you just mentioned, the little things that he does to really affect games.
Yeah, can see why.
Guy Bend able to flick it on to George Davis. Now Del Piccolo in some space. Sean Tosh getting forward from his center back spot. Davis hit him in the feet, didn't know anything about it, but it falls for Tosh again. Opportunity to cross. He waits. Skips past Lee. Floating ball in. Blue City still on it. Lofted back in, but just in the hands of Gomez.
He's trying to drop that in for Ownby, but he's just overcooked it, and I called him Lind earlier on. My bad, I do apologize. Gomez.
Soccer Fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Jimenez working on James. Retreats to Morad.
You see, he had 2 players on Jimenez. Like I said to you, if it takes 2 players to stop this guy getting a grip, you got to do it.
Ownby turns on the Jets and goes right by Felix. Looking for Lancaster, deflected and just off the outside of the post. See the pace of Brian Ownby, just skips round him, doesn't he? You can see it building up here. It's a long direct ball. He shouldn't really be able to see. Completely wrong side. He's gone for a challenge he shouldn't do, and that must be no more than 2 inches away from sneaking inside the near post. Third corner of the night for Blue City. Now Jimenez over it. Outswinger. Looking for Morad. But
see, what I didn't like there from Blue City, there was nobody on the edge of the 18-yard area to pick up that loose ball. You would put 1 or 2 players there and form an umbrella. So around the arc of the 18-yard area, if you know what I'm saying. And when it comes out, you capture it. It's a straight shot. If it's an obvious pass, it's there. But you keep that pressure. You keep that pressure in that area.
flicked on. Ranjetsin does not come out.
Well, I tell you, I wasn't sure Morad knew exactly where he was right then, flicking that header back.
Cameron Lancaster trying to hold it up, but eventually taken away from him and then given away.
He's not going to get that, but you know what he's like. He's going to chase it anyway.
And there it is. Get a deflection. There might be an opportunity just from his hard work, but eventually cleared out.
It's the dirty side of the game, in the sense of you don't really want to be doing this, but he just loves it. Oh, it was just a bit heavy, Jimenez, with his touch, but the thinking behind it was superb.
Bernardo Forbes now getting forward, playing over to Boucher. Boucher working on Morad into the corner. Ball kind of just rolls away from him. Eventually rolls out for a throw.
Reynolds has let him turn. So what happens is once the player's got it and he's facing away from your goal, you cannot allow him to turn and face you, because then he starts to get the chance to dictate how play goes from there. All right, they're quite a big side, Rochester, so set plays are going to be a problem for Lou City.
All defenders over 6'3". This is a corner. Boucher's about to take it. Floats it in right to the penalty spot, then cleared out. But just as far as James.
See that umbrella I was talking about?
Boucher tries again. This time Ownby's there. But kept in by James again. Boucher just floats one. And eventually will go harmlessly to the foot of Ranjetsin.
And again, build up from the back. Comfortable with Tosha there. He's got a generally reliable service.
What needs to happen for Rochester to generate some genuine chances? They've not really had much even in and around the area.
Fall's just getting the ball, what, 15 yards inside his own half. You need to get him further forward. That tempo and energy they had in the first 15 minutes has dissipated. And they've got to up the tempo again. Try and get Graf, try and get Boucher mobile and served. You know, it's no use them running into the channels and getting no service, because in the end, players get bored. That's the polite term. You know what I'm saying? They then don't run them with such commitment as they would be normally. So you have to make sure they get service. Try and get set plays. If you've got a height advantage, use the natural advantage that you have.
Blue City's worked their way down the field just by throw-ins.
That's a poor clearance into the central areas.
Into trouble, and that's going to be a foul there on Graf.
Yeah, he's a physical player, Graf. You know, Del Piccolo might not be happy, but he can't be surprised. It's not the first time he's bumped an opponent over, is it?
Absolutely not. Taken quickly. There's Kyle Smith, going to give it a ride. Falls
yes.
for Guy Bend. Tried to have what would have been a spectacular effort.
You see, in that area, when the ball pops up to you like that, just try it. It goes over the bar, it goes over the bar. So right, it just pops up here, hook it. Get goal of the week, why not?
It absolutely would have been goal of the week. I'd have put quite a few shekels on that.
You have shekels?
I have tons of shekels.
Oh, I'm envious.
Flicked on by Fall. And Ranjetson just comes out just enough to get it.
But Graf there again, making sure that nobody gets an easy ride. Okay, if he's going to work that hard for you, service him. Get him service in there. Give him something to feed on.
Texas native Graf spent 3 years playing in Sweden before coming back stateside. 6 goals on the year, second on the team.
You see, Rochester aren't so keen to do that closing down that they were in the opening minutes, and that's allowing the time and space for Lou City just to start to thread things together. A luxury they didn't have in the first 15.
Ball falls for the goal scorer, Davis the fourth, but couldn't quite control it. Contact, no whistle by our referee, John Freeman. And this sent back again to Ranjetson.
That's not going to work, is it? Service like that. Nowhere near Forbes.
It's another guy, Forbes. Babali will tell you, critical of their team, pulling the strings in the midfield. He's tough, but he can also help them get forward and create. Said his name maybe twice in the course of the game.
Yeah. A lot of possession now for Rochester has been more direct and therefore bypassing midfield. So his influence in the game becomes that much less.
Tosh, loose touch, and Graf continuing to work, but not going to get the ball this time. We're in the 40th minute here from Louisville Slugger Field. Gary O'Reilly, Dallin Cuff here. Number 1 and number 4 in the Eastern Conference of USL doing battle here. This could be a potential playoff matchup we see in a couple weeks. Lou City already in the playoffs. Rochester trying to punch their ticket. They cannot, even with a win today, but they can move up. Charleston and Charlotte, second and third in the league, are playing as we speak. Pinged out looking for Boucher, but just over his head.
Yeah, not a lot. Okay, the intention is there. It's just the execution lets them down.
There's Canardo Forbes on the ball. Back to Wallfall. Good quick movement out of some trouble. Farrell floats it.
That final pass, you can be superb in the centre of midfield, but that final pass lets you down. All that work goes to waste.
Swing and a miss by Felix, but no harm done. Forbes on the ball, turning, crossing at midfield. Looking for some help, finding Garzi. Garzi lays it off for Felix. Rayleigh wanted to play to his feet, he got it. Fall, nice touch. Now there could be an opportunity. Back to Fall. Tries to drive it across. Kyle Smith deflects it. Rayleigh, first time cross, lobbed into the box. Jimenez waits for it. It's going to fall to James. And Boucher gets a little something on it, but it's going to go wide.
As I said pre-game when we were going through the formations, as and when they attack, the likes of James and the likes of Lee will push forward. And there you saw Ryan James on the edge of the 18-yard area, released from his defensive duties, making up that extra body in attack. So that's how Rochester get to dominate teams when they do. They push those numbers forward.
As we mentioned, Charleston and Charlotte playing as we speak. So the top four in the East are in action against each other, and the Battery are up 1-0 the 55th minute over Charlotte. Joe Farrell looking and finding Boucher in between the lines. Gets his head up, has a little bit of space, lays it out for Forbes, and Forbes wanders offside. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. Boucher chested down to Garzi. Second ball fell for Boucher, and Graf is trying to outwork Reynolds. He comes away with it. Graf tries to curl it, and he connects! Right past Rand Jetsing. Graf's hard work all match we've talked about. He does not give up, and he is rewarded with his 7th goal of the campaign.
Talked about his physicality. He shows all of it there to brush Reynolds to one side. Composes himself. Right, direct ball to the center of the team. Doesn't get dealt with properly. Step forward, look, now. Brushes him out the way, composes himself, checks a half stride, and picks out the far side netting. Superb play from Graf. Not something that Lou City would like to see happen too often.
You've been commending his work rate all game.
And I said they need to give him some service, give him something to feed on. It was a scrappy kind of through ball, but the kind of player he is, he makes something of nothing.
And now back come Lou City for the quick response, and Brian Ownby is tossed over. Rayleigh's going to get a talking to, and he's going to get a card.
Good time for Rochester to get an equalising goal just before the half-time break, but action's not finished yet.
First yellow of the match issued to Rayleigh here in the 45th minute, and setting up a potential opportunity here for Lou City to strike quickly on the return. Last time Lancaster from about this area gave it a go. He's not even over it now. It's Jimenez and Davis the fourth, who was the goal scorer in the 13th minute. Davis dummies. It's going to be Jimenez floated into the hands of Tomas Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez dominates well there. And you see the second player on the ball, Davis, is there to stop them trying to play an offside trap. So he's there just to make sure that doesn't happen. But in the end, catching practice for Gomez.
And as you see right there, 1 minute of stoppage time here. 1 minute mandatory additional time will be played as Davis, a fourth, tries to work out of some trouble. Wallfall just beats Ownby to the ball to maintain possession for the Rhinos. They look long again. And if Boucher can track it down, which he cannot.
See, in doing that, they are bypassing their midfield, which is great. But as a central midfield player for the Rhinos, you're looking at that and you're thinking, I'm going to leave this game with neck ache.
It's like watching a tennis match.
Yeah.
Ball falls to him, and now, say it again, he falls to the floor. Boucher now. Should be Ray Lee. Sorry, that is Boucher, my fault. Now they will earn a corner. And John Freeman, as we are past the 1 minute mark, Boucher will try to take it quickly.
Lou City have got to remain strong mentally. Cannot allow a second here.
This one is lofted towards the penalty spot. Sean Reynolds plays it out, and that is a whistle from Freeman. And we're back where we started.
If he does, probably to the latter stages. I might be wrong. We'll find out.
We will find
Only
out.
one way
Second
to
half
find
is
out.
underway. Wallfall plays it deep. Rochester in the green. Blue City in purple, and not handling the long ball start. Ceding a corner right away.
Can't tell you what James O'Connor said, but I tell you what, he's not happy.
I can imagine. I could ad-lib that pretty easily. But we're going to just worry about Boucher taking this corner right now. And this portion of tonight's broadcast presented by Plainview Apartments, the official housing partner of Lou City. Boucher whips it in with the outswinger again. A lot of contact. Ownby goes down, immediately holds his head.
He's not moved, so that's
that
a
is
concern.
not good. And John Freeman, as you can see, the official waving out treatment. Excuse me, the trainer, I should say.
Okay, he's conscious. It's always a good thing. Near post corner that Boucher whips in with some real pace.
You see Joe Farrell going in and attacking the ball. Farrell, the goal scorer for the Rhinos at the weekend. Big 6'4" center back. Ownby's dealt with his own injury issues this year. Nothing to the head. It was leg injury, but he looks like he's okay. We'll head to the sideline to get clearance to return. Ownby back on, and we're 11v11 again.
That's the sort of football I was talking about. That sharp, quick interpassing, and they just lacerate Rochester side. I have no answer to it.
Ray Lee on the ball. Being long for Boucher. Boucher couldn't keep it in play. The smaller Louisville slugger pitch they play on. We saw George Davis slip in the first half with a potential goal scoring opportunity very early in the game with that baseball diamond there. We'll see if that plays any impact in the second half. Paolo Di Piccolo looking for Davis. Doesn't come together. James throws it into Wall. Fall flicks it over the defender, and Boucher, can't keep it in, goes out of play. Fall just coming back last game from yellow card suspension. Missed their 1-1 draw against Ottawa. Featured in the game, there was a 1-1 draw against Pittsburgh. Now he's back. He's the cousin of Jermaine Jones, U.S. international, both born in Germany. Both like a good hard challenge.
Is that a foul?
Lancaster checks it down. No call. He's just staying the ball. Almost tripped up again. Able to get it off. Omby in the middle.
Omby's gone for a bicycle kick there. You could see him starts to turn and move his back towards goal. He wants that overhead kick. But here with Lancaster, good ball from Wade. He opens up and plays that ball with his left foot. Now there is a right old tussle here for the ball. One fall, one submission, and a corner.
Jimenez comes away with the corner now. He curls it in. Out comes Gomez. Omby's able to stay on it. He might give it a ride. Yes, he gives it one, but it's going to be high and wide of the target.
You're asking a lot from yourself because he's, what, a good 30 or so yards out from goal. But the fact that he wants to do it, the fact that he has the confidence and belief to take it forward and take it on, it's good news. It's a better start from Louisville City than the end of the first half. If you compare the 5 minutes either side of the break, starting to play that little bit of football, getting opportunities.
Johan Graf trying to run onto the flick on, and it will be a corner.
Just feel they're conceding too many corners at the moment, Lou City.
So we're already be the second one of the half. Boucher over it again. Lines it in. Cleared out.
Gone for the same corner, same near post corner. That's too easy. Too easy for them to get out.
Tons of space. He's able to loft it in, but just Ranjetson comes out and hauls it in. Davis, the fourth, able to run onto it in midfield. Pops it out to Omby. Omby trying to cut inside. John Friedman just wags a finger, says, nope, that's not a foul.
No, he feels he trailed his legs just to draw the contact.
Bernardo Forbes, good ball up to Johan Graf, and Graf's going to wait for a second, get some reinforcements. Forbes and Graf connect again, back to Forbes. He flicks it on to Ray Lee. Lee going to have an opportunity to cross, or just wait. Cut back onto his right. Forbes now gets his head up. Lee, first time cross. And again, second time he just wandered off sides.
But the time it takes for that cross to come in, all that time allows Lou City the chance to organize the defense. If there's men not marked, you get them marked. You get everything set. So, you know, that's something from Rochester's point of view. If you can, you get those crosses in early. You take advantage of any lapse in concentration in the defense.
They had about 3 or 4 opportunities, it seemed, to play one in, but did not take advantage.
You know, and there wasn't a great deal of pressure on the ball from Lou City.
Up goes Sergio Campbell. But
they're going to call a
foul.
Yeah. Quick free kick, or do they organize something? No, look. Fall is on top of the ball. He's not allowing that to be taken quickly. Forbes is going to talk to the referee. It all stops that free kick from happening at pace. Meanwhile, you could maybe tell Graf to go away.
Jimenez and Davis stand over it again.
That space between 6-yard and penalty area. Dangerous space for people to pile into.
Davis fakes it again. Jimenez gives it a little poke. Tosh got his head to it, but Tomas Gomez
just lacked
covers.
elevation. Needed a couple of foot more in terms of elevation.
Ray Lee looking for Graf. Graf, nice header out to Boucher. Boucher got the ball cut under his feet, allowed Kyle Smith time to catch up to it.
See there with Ray Lee, he's got time on the ball. So he can look up. Where's Graf? Right, there we go. Can drop it straight into him. The pressure's got to be quicker. Keep his head down. Don't allow him to assess the lie of the land.
Foul picked up by Tarek Morad, pushing Forbes in the back, so gives a chance for these Rhinos to get their big bodies forward. Again, all three center backs over 6'3", but they play it quick. James, first time cross and right to Ryan Jetson.
Well,
looked like they were going to set up there for a second, but they did not.
No, I took my advice about taking it quickly. The only thing is that's when you've got the numbers that are set yourself, because it was only Graf at the far post and it was nowhere near him.
Jimenez playing deep, looking for Lancaster. Nice touch by Ownby, but Boucher read it, stepped in front. Boucher, the loanee from DC United. Graf trying to chase this one down. He might get there. A lot of contact between him and Reynolds, and he goes into the...
That might be a foul.
Into the boards. Said it, he has worked hard all game. Paid off by him working for a goal, and now he takes a big hit. Is this a penalty?
Well, there's no attempt to play the ball.
See that left arm come out. I mean, that's one of those things. If that happens 20 yards from goal outside the area,
it's in the box.
It's always going to be a foul outside the box, is it not?
Yeah,
it's
a foul.
I'm saying. Foul's a foul.
Yeah. I think Reynolds was conscious of what happened before the half-time break, and he wasn't going to allow it to repeat itself, which I can understand. But that, for me, is a foul and a penalty. But I'm not refereeing, so we moved on.
Sean Freeman waves it away. The man in the middle in the red. His say is all that really matters. Del Piccolo comes down, a little bit of contact. He'll go down. Forbes helps him up. Looking long for Ownby. Not going to connect. And Rochester will set to make their first sub, and we mentioned him. Cristiano Francois is about to check in. Julian Boucher will make way for Francois, 24-year-old former DC United player who was waived by them, never played for them, spent 2 years playing in the second division in Portugal, 40 games, 4 goals the last 2 years. Had eye surgery earlier this season. He's worked his way back into full fitness now. This will be his 8th appearance on the year. He already has 4 assists in his first 7 games. This substitution, as always, brought to you by Great Clips. He was an absolute difference maker at the weekend. He's been a difference maker since he's come back to the squad. We'll see if he can do it again for Bob Lilly's crew.
Well, Bob Lilly's played his hand first, hasn't he? In terms of making a tactical change for advantage.
Kyle Smith just can't get there.
Knowing that Ilic had to go off because of an injury rather than the coach deciding to change it for tactics.
Yes, in the first minute, Ilija Ilic, Serbian native, was subbed out in the 14th minute. Cameron Lancaster coming in for him at the central forward spot. That was due to injury. So Louisville is down 1 sub already. Rochester, as we just said, made their first sub with Francois. Del Piccolo battling with Wall. comes away with the ball, gets up to Ownby. Ownby looking for Jimenez, but can't connect.
See, at the moment for me, Ownby's playing quite deep. And therefore, you know, in terms of your 3-4-3 formation, you're one short up top.
Ryan Felix looking to make the pass between the lines to Graf, and it falls for Forbes. Forbes now lays it out for Lee. First time cross taken low. You saw Francois actually there in the box making the run and slipped on the baseball diamond. Fall swings it out to James. There's Francois on it. Knocks it back to Felix.
It's good control from Rochester. Not gone direct here, have they? They've constructed this.
Ray Lee's pass, a little more air on it than he probably wanted. Francois, nice turn, leaves it for Wall. Wall tried to play Francois back, but too much on it. Well read by Sean Reynolds.
Just a bit late.
Late challenge by James.
A card out for James.
And there it is. James gets the card in the 60th minute. And as we go into the 60th minute, this portion of tonight's broadcast presented by our official partner, Sullivan University. As you see the yellow card offense. So Rochester made their first play with Francois. If you were James Conner, how would you counter for Lou City in terms of whether it be tactics or personnel?
Well, I think at the moment, I might give it a little bit of time. There's still plenty of time left in the game. Just want my players to play a little bit more of a constructive game, because it doesn't look like Rochester are pushing on as high and as hard as they did in the opening of the first half, so there should be some space out there to explore.
There's a Ben stepping into a bit of space, and he was looking over the top for Davis.
That's never going to give him a chance. It's way too long.
Del Piccolo cuts off the pass, as does Campbell on the other side. All fall. Poor turnover in midfield. Ben peels for the handball, and it's given.
Just flicks it up. You can see the arm comes away from the body, so it's what you would call an unnatural position. Referee right for me to give that decision.
Jimenez lofts it in, and Felix able to clear it out. And Forbes gets rid of it.
Don't remember Lou City winning too many of those aerial battles in the Rochester 18-yard area. Now that is something that I would be looking to change, which might mean Spencer.
Spencer, the leading scorer on their team, 9 goals on the year. He's only started 11 of their matches, scores every 119 minutes. Very efficient strike rate for a guy who's not logged a ton of minutes.
But he's had injury issues, hasn't he?
He has had, he's been in and out of the lineup a bit, especially early in the season.
So maybe you gently with him, rather than just hammer him, running him into the ground.
Little 1-2. Forbes able to skip past Tosh. Now Forbes running at the defense. Cuts inside, takes a lot of contact. Not, says John Freeman. Says it was a clean pick by Sean Reynolds.
Referee's got a better position than I have, so I've got to go with his opinion.
Cameron Lancaster now looking for Davis, but overhit it. Looked like they could have had some space between the center backs.
He's played it over him when, if you can, and he looked like he had time to play it in front of him. That way he goes on to the pass.
Reynolds takes a touch past Francois. Fans, stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with the man Mike Watts, Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, do not forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
So, is this a foul on Forbes? Let's see if we get a little bit better evidence. Did look to have some sort of contact.
That looked like that could have been whistled right outside the area in a potentially dangerous spot, but John Freeman did not agree, so Forbes' run.
He was in a good position, the referee, so you go with that opinion, I think.
Farrell, a little bit of contact in Davis's back.
It did look like a push, didn't it?
Yeah, no whistle there either. There's more contact. And this time it was given on Paolo Di Piccolo. Foul and wall fall. As we cross here in the top of the hour, 65th minute of our game alongside Gary O'Reilly. I'm Dallin Cuff. 1-1 between the Rhinos and Lou City, and Cristiano Francois trying to change that up. Lays it off for Fall. First time ball played by Fall. Tosh gets in there, gets his head to it. Forbes was in the box. It seemed like he could have got there.
Tosh does well because he's got a player in front of him and behind him. So if he doesn't make contact with that, then that's a really dangerous ball to let pass.
And that is a former defender speaking there. 14 years in English top flight, Gary O'Reilly. Sean Tosh made a great play to keep. It could have been an opportunity as Cameron Lancaster spills over and holding his face, but play will continue.
I think Lancaster was holding on to that for a bit too long, to my mind. The pass was there to be made. Should have made it earlier.
Training staff being signaled on by the fourth official.
No denying it probably hurts. So here that pass was there. That pass could have been made, but the longer he holds on to it, the more likely he's going to get his ankles wrapped.
Pleading with John Freeman for a foul call that Lancaster will not get. Lancaster gets up. The top four in the Eastern Conference are all in action right now. 1-4 here with Lou City and Rochester. And then between Charleston and Charlotte, Charleston 3-0 final score for you.
Woohoo, emphatic.
Emphatic win for the Battery, as now they move to 47 points. That keeps them in third, but now they're 1 point off of Charlotte. And Rochester at 44. So even with a win, Rochester cannot move up the standings. However, they can keep pace, and they can make greater distance between them and fifth place Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay at 41 points right now. And obviously being in fourth and fifth is critical between playing a home game in the first round or going on the road and being that fifth seed. Lancaster back on the pitch. Another slip off the diamond. Smith eventually settles it, tried to spray it out to Smith, but it was picked off. Sent long again. Luke Spencer getting ready to make his appearance, as is Mark Anthony Kay. Two very dynamic offensive players.
Two attacking players. He wants to win the game, wants to win his home game, doesn't he?
Francois still working over the challenge with Morad.
Morad's got to stay on top of Francois because he looks a player that will wriggle and squirm and get the other side of you.
Here's Fall working on Del Piccolo, trying to get crafty in the end line. Cut it back, and Davis slides in there and breaks it up from James, but Forbes comes back and picks up the ball. Back to Forbes. And Morad's there to knock it out. And we will have the final two subs. First sub brought to you by Great Clips. Substitution brought to you by Great Clips. Mark Anthony Kay on for Brian Ownby, 23-year-old dynamic attacker, Canadian-born TFC Academy product. His 15th appearance, he's got 3 goals on the year. And this substitution, again, brought to you by Great Clips. Luke Spencer inserted. And Lancaster makes way. So now all 3 real central forwards played in this game. Illich started, Lancaster on, Spencer comes on late. There's Mark Anthony Kay's first involvement. There's Spencer's first involvement. Skips forward, looking to play through Jimenez. But James was there, back for Francois. Spencer just throws down Francois, and that'll be an easy foul call. James O'Connor and the rest of the guys in purple upset about that, but it seemed pretty evident. Rochester going to make a sub 2, brought to you by Great Clips again. Bradley Camden Fayu is now checking in for Ray Lee.
It seems like for like change with Fayu. It's just fresh legs to play up against Mark Anthony Kay.
Again, they're on Rochester in the middle of a 3-game road trip. They just played in Pittsburgh on Saturday night. Now they're in Louisville here Wednesday night. Camden, 23 years old, former 58th overall pick in the 2016 MLS Super Draft to Colorado. Did not play for them. Now a second year with Rochester, making his 22nd appearance of the season. Francois now to take a cross, looking long, and he's got an option. Forbes tries to knock it back across the box. See Graf give him the thumbs up.
See what I mean about the ball traveling distance across the area? Always it becomes a greater danger. And that's wasted from Ranjit Singh. You know, there's early and there's direct, but it's got to have an end product, and that goes out for a goal kick at the other end. That's not the end product you were thinking of. It can't be.
Loof City is out of subs right now. Rochester 1 subs, 2 remaining if Bob Lilly wants to make one more change. Looking for Graf, almost gets in, and there's a collision. Ranjitsingh out to claim the ball.
He's always going to err on the side of the goalkeeper, I would imagine.
Forbes asking, what else did you want him to do?
Forbes saying he wants a penalty.
Graf, the goal scorer, tied this up in the 45th minute. And he'll get a yellow for his trouble there.
So this will give us a better idea. Ranjit Singh just said, you're not having this. This is all mine. He gets up, gets on with it. That's fair enough. You give it out, you get it back, you get on with the game. Just think Louisville can't go back-to-back draws at home. That wouldn't work. So now changes have been made. Sponsor K on to, as you said, dynamic, attacking, offensive options. Now the tempo needs to rise. Now someone needs to grab hold of the game, decide they want it, they're going to make it theirs, and push it forward.
Louisville getting ready to set, as you just said, back-to-back home games here. They've played now. They'll be playing 5 games in 15 days, but their next 3 are all on the road. At Ottawa, at TFC, and at Rochester. Not easy places to play. As Camden squirts by Smith and looked to play it into Forbes and almost got there. Forbes looking to control, but goes out of play. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Spencer looked like he was taken down by Campbell, and he was.
Lucky they get that decision on the foul, because Davis just made a pass there to a green shirt. Not what he intended.
You don't want to do that, huh? That's
no,
bad.
It's probably not the idea he had in his mind. Yeah, just look, a little tug. Spencer knows enough to go down when he feels the contact.
Moorhead lofts it into Davis. He lets it run. On to Mark Anthony Kay, though, ran away from him. They didn't connect. Played up to Smith. Smith looking for Anthony Kay. Finds him. Del Piccolo, great ball, slipped in Spencer. And then Sergio Campbell able to poke it out from behind.
That's laser-guided pass there, isn't there? From Del Piccolo into Spencer. Credit Sergio Campbell. Gets caught the wrong side, the big defender, but just pokes out that toe. Denies Luke Spencer a great opportunity. That's better play from Lou City. Just starting to open up those passes.
It's a great ball by Del Piccolo, but back comes the Rhinos. And Camden just not going to beat out Tosh to the ball. Smith turns. Maintains possession for Lou City.
It's good play from Lou City, just calmly building from the back.
And then as looking long for Spencer, knocked down by Farrell. James O'Connor, nice distribution there by the coach.
See what happens with the coach? He wants that ball back in play immediately because he wants this tempo. He wants this higher tempo. He just tells you everything we've just talked about. Because if he doesn't care, he just rolls it back or lets someone else deal with it. And again, look, he is living every single kick.
And it is back in play quick. Guy bend on it. Lofted in, looking for Kay.
If you're going to loft it in, I think you're probably better off looking for Spencer. If he doesn't head it, he holds it. He's got the build. He's got the ability to hold off a defender.
Go box to box with it.
Surprisingly enough, Graf doesn't go in on Ranjit Singh that time.
If he didn't already have a yellow, he probably would do it.
Possibly. Or maybe he's still smarting from the last time. That was a heavy landing.
Morad.
Oh, that's a good play.
Lets it run. Tried to play back to Smith, but just overcooked it a bit. There's Garzi now. Running into space, and his pass just off the mark. Francois was just like he likes to be, but then a poor turnover.
Oh, you've got it, they've got it, and you keep giving it to them.
There's Francois again working on Jimenez.
Wow, that's lack of control.
That is not a good ball.
When you try and play a higher tempo on an offense, it has to be done with control, with passing, not just do everything quick, because then you lose the accuracy, then you lose the control that you need to build.
Played long and flicked on to Kay.
which is the point we just made. You're probably better off with Spencer with a ball like that.
Spencer tried to get it over to his left foot, but Farrell was able to get his foot in there and disrupt it.
They want this win, Lou City. They're going to have to work hard because this is not an easy team to break down.
Nope.
There's every team that's played them this season will verify. Not easy to break down this green wall.
Second fewest goals allowed in the league for Rochester, 24. That is their MO. They had the best defensive record back in 15 when they won the title under Bob Lilly.
And Toach has played well this evening. I've liked him anyway when the games that I've covered here.
Sean Tosh, third center back. Kay's going to be able to get onto this ball.
A little bit of magic, a little bit of something special. Kay's got that ability in him.
Farrell eventually just said, I'm tired of this. I'll just blast it off Kay and they'll take possession.
Yeah, that'll do. See, now you're looking for Kay, for Spencer, for Jimenez, maybe Davis. They're my flair players. They're my players got a little bit of something and they can express it with skill. That's when it needs to happen. This moment onwards is when it needs to happen.
80th minute here. Gary O'Reilly alongside Dallin Cuff from Louisville Slugger Field. Lou City went up 1-0 through that man that just had the ball. George Davis, the fourth, in the 23rd minute, but Rochester equalized in the 45th, and that's where we find ourselves at. Still 1-1 as Guy Ben tries to work his way through a lot of traffic.
He's thought about, do I have enough space for the shot? Can I find Spencer? And there's a lot of green bodies in there. They crowd you out. They work hard. You've got to give them credit. So that's why I said when a team works this hard against you, when someone drops a bit of individual brilliance, there's not a lot a team can do about it. So, chaps, if you've got it, drop it.
If you've got it, guys, I'd like to see it too.
Yeah.
Guy Ben keeps it in play with his head, gets up to Jimenez. Jimenez racks it off of James and out for a throw. Rochester still has one change left they could make if Bob Lilly so chose. Louisville out of subs. Sean Reynolds threads it through to Smith, Davis. Graf, you see, swinging his hand, trying to get guys to come up. He wants guys to come.
But you know what? Lilly's going, don't you dare. You're staying back. This team is on an attack mode now. Lou City are in attack mode, and therefore I need my bodies back here. See, once this team gets stretched, they're going to be easier to break down.
Kay able to spin and get the foul on Farrell.
Okay.
Could be an opportunity here.
This could be an Oscar performance.
It's an Oscar Jimenez performance. There he is. First in the league in chances created with 62. First in this team with assists with 5. Can he make it 6 and break the deadlock? John Freeman going to come up and break it up before we even get there.
Okay. Can't be surprised there's some pushing and shoving, referee.
Some big bodies in there, and Spencer
no,
not happy.
Don't do that to the referee because you want him on your side.
Jimenez whips it in. Farrell able to get his head to it. Gomez came out for it. Kay tried to pop it back into the box, but it was picked off. Guy Bend able to turn, and Kay looked like he had a step there, but Sergio Campbell.
Yeah, I think that might be an offside on Kay.
We're getting set now for the final substitution of the night.
So that's interesting. Look, Rhino's goalkeeper is in blue. playing against a team in the colour almost exactly the same. Don't normally see that because of the clash.
There's Joe Farrell down holding his foot.
I don't think they'll be substituting him.
Yeah, second team All-USL Best 11 last year. Was in the Rookie of the Year nominees for finalists at the end of the year. Third in the team with goals with 5 scored at the weekend of the in stoppage time to draw at Pittsburgh. A heck of a player. See if he's okay. If you're Bob Lilly in Rochester right now, at this point in the game, are you happy with the point? Do you hunker down?
I think they always hunker down. They're always in that mode. They're always in a defensive thought and process. Yeah, maybe, by introducing Francois, I've got a little bit of something random that can unlock a team on a counter-attack. But I'll be happy that my team can defend. In other words, yes.
There it is.
That was the abbreviated version. Yeah.
I don't want you just to say yes. Nobody wants to hear that.
I know.
Give me the long answer. It's always better. Reynolds head up. He looks long for Spencer.
See, but that's a straight ball. That's so easy for a central defender just to do his thing and head it back.
Del Piccolo finds Kay, and Kay tries a turn, but turns into Campbell. Francois now coming out of a little bit of trouble. He'll pick up the foul. You see Bob Lilly at the top of the screen readying Ryan Bukimia to come on, and substitution will not be made yet, though. Cristiano Francois on the ball. To blast it in there off of Jimenez. And now the substitution will be allowed to be made. That substitution brought to you by Great Clips, as always. Substitution brought to you by Great Clips. Ryan Bukimia comes on for Michael Garzi. 24-year-old rookie, former D2 All-American at Southern New Hampshire University. This is his 7th appearance of the year. Made a substitute appearance last week, a game against Pittsburgh. In that game, they came back a late draw. How about that attempt?
Fayu there, not hesitating.
Not at all.
Took a chance, worth the effort.
Francois pushes a bend off the ball, and they will call that.
Set it up, set it up. Get your big guys in place. Give them an opportunity, give it elevation.
Jimenez plays it in, gets an opportunity there to the head of Morad.
Yeah, I think it came off Morad last, didn't it?
But like that by a bend. Put it down and let's get this thing going.
Yeah,
Playing it home, they want to get that 3
yeah.
points.
Guess what? Goalkeeper thinks different.
And here's going to be Gomez is going to take a yellow for delay game.
I think considering how little time Gomez wasted there, it might be due to the fact that the referee possibly spoke to him before.
Yeah, that didn't seem like that offense was warranting it just alone. Bukimia lays it off to Camden Fayu. Felix looking for the switch to Francois. Felix, hopeful ball, goes to Ranjetsing.
There's going to be a winner. It's going to be a late one. Obviously, Not telling anyone that didn't already work out for themselves. But you're just wondering, is it going to be one of those surprise pieces of last-minute action?
John Freeman blows the whistle. Thought there was too much contact there. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. Jimenez over it again. As you said, might be some late fireworks here. Can he help break the deadlock?
Long way out here. You can see the center circle.
He floats it in. Out comes Gomez. A lot of contact.
Oh!
Ball falls, swing and a miss, so the ball's going to stay in. Davis now clips it in the back post. Gomez comes out again. This time Jimenez gives it a shot, and it's over.
This gives it too much air, doesn't he? Good punch from Gomez, but it falls straight to Jimenez. You're thinking, is this it? Can Jimenez, the one with the magic touch, just craft something beautiful? Opts for power. You know, here you see, good positive punch, but it falls straight to the feet of the last man you want it to go, Jimenez. Good header.
Spencer came back from an offside position. John Freeman judged. The referee's assistant judge, Freeman, called. And now as we cross into the 90th minute, we will have 3 minutes of stoppage time here. A chance for both teams to break the deadlock in the next 270 seconds at minimum.
Nervous 90s, I think I'll call this.
Ball falls and almost falls to Cristiano Francois.
Now the game doesn't have to be pretty, just has to have a goal in it. Yeah?
Absolutely.
There you go.
It has not been easy on the eye in the second half as Kyle Smith goes down hard. Bukimia almost turned it over in a bad spot. Laid off to Bukimia. Back out to Wallfall. Fall to Graf. Out to Forbes. Forbes gives it a crack, but it's...
I don't think Forbes, when he strikes this shot, has a thought of exactly where in the goal he's aiming for. It's like,
he's just hitting it.
Yeah, I'm hitting it in the general direction of. And that's...
Usually comes off like that?
That's normally the defender's kind of shot. Treat everything as a clearance. But when you're here and you've got an opportunity like that, you need that player to be cool and understanding exactly what needs to be executed.
Del Piccolo lofts it back in. Guy Ben a little bit of trouble. Excuse me, Sean Tosh in a little bit of trouble. A lot of contact there. Smith just ran into the defender.
Sooner or later, this ball's got to go in the mixer.
Here now, minute 45 in a stoppage time. Mandatory minimum of 3. Spencer looking for a bend.
Oh,
out comes Campbell.
Oh, give it.
Big swing.
He swung, but he certainly made contact, but it's all at Ben's ankle.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the argument is from anybody in green there. Yeah, that was a clumsy challenge.
Oh, for sure. It's a cheap foul with a possibly costly outcome. Look at this, when it comes across here, it's a lunge. Look at that. That's all Abend, no ball. This guy, the one guy you want to be cool, know exactly where he wants to put this ball. That's him, that's Jimenez. Now Davis is going to take it just to make me look silly,
Jimenez
right?
did just say, points to himself, said, it's me. But we'll see if that actually was gamesmanship or he's going to give it a hit. Did score from a free kick last week to equalize that game. Can he do it to go ahead in this game? Gives it a hit, and the wall does its job.
Oh,
but
what's
it
the referee
did
saying?
not do its job. It is a handball, yellow card.
No.
Given to substitute Ryan Bukimia, I believe. The referee, John Freeman, said his hand was above his head, clearly away from his body, is what Freeman judged there.
No doubt in what the referee's given it for. Okay. Yeah, it goes up.
Oh.
Man, what are you thinking?
Unbelievable turn of events here.
Okay, now the psychology starts. Gomez, all the Rhinos, they're going to start to get the referee. They're going to start to get on the penalty
And this happened
take.
in our last game. Spencer was holding the ball, and Kyle Smith walked up and took it. James O'Connor told him to do that and said, okay, Kyle, you go take it, because there was a lot of time wasting and gamesmanship.
See, look, here we go. This is the way it goes. Okay.
Gomez doing everything he can. He's praying.
He's got to be careful because he's already taken a yellow.
Has taken a yellow.
So the referee now sends the goalkeeper off. There's no other substitution. This could be hilarious. Hopefully,
well, here comes
let's get
Spencer.
some serious action.
Will the substitute break the deadlock? Leading scorer for Lou City on the season. Still more time. Gomez, a little bit of gamesmanship. Spencer blasts and slots it into his right. And what a finish we had. It was back and forth throughout the second 45, but a handball in the box makes the difference. And Luke Spencer gets his 10th goal of the season. And Lou City's going to walk away with 3 points out of this one.
All right, it's a photo finish. Gomez points to one side, and guess what? Spencer says, yeah, I'll have a piece of that. Pick this out of the net, would you? Job done. Good pen, good pen. Goalkeeper the wrong way. And as for a right footer, Spencer's put it to his unnatural side. He's gone to his right side. Normally right footers will come across to the left. Hence, that's why the goalkeeper went.
And that goal by Lou City brought to you by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, Kentucky Lottery. And that also is the final whistle. A Luke Spencer pen in stoppage time gives Lou City, the top 10 team in the Eastern Conference, 3 more points. Rochester goes right to John Freeman, the official. They do not like that call, but it was blatant. That was the right call, and Lou City wins 2-1.
Dust that ball for fingerprints.